Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
The success of the Kirtan is when you sing along with us. So it's not a entertainment, but a source of inspiration. And when you participate, then the benefit comes to you as well. Om Namah Shivaya.
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 Om Jageshwaraya.
Om Jageshwaraya.
Om Jageshwaraya.
Om Jageshwaraya.
Om Jageshwaraya.
Om Jageshwaraya.
Om Maheshwaraya.
Om Jageshwaraya.
Om Maheshwaraya.
Om Nageshwaraya.
Om Maheshwaraya.
Om
Maheshwaraya. Om Maheshwaraya.
Om Maheshwaraya.
Om Maheshwaraya.
Om Maheshwaraya.
Om Rameshwaraya.
Om
Rameshwaraya. Om Rameshwaraya. Om Rameshwaraya. Om Rameshwaraya.
Om
Rameshwaraya. Om Rameshwaraya. Rameshwaraya. Om Vishveshwaraya. Om Vishveshwaraya. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Namah Shivaya. Welcome to Satsang. Let's begin with just a few moments of meditation together. Find a posture that's comfortable for you. Allow the awareness to pull from the outer world to the world inside. Allow your senses and perception that's usually focused on everything around you. Focus it on everything inside you. Draw the awareness to your breath, but not high up in the chest, in the rib cage, but rather draw the awareness to your breath, low in the abdomen. As low as you can bring it, below the navel. See if you can focus your awareness on your breath. About 2 inches below your belly button. Bring the awareness there as you inhale and exhale. Every time you find the mind has gone astray, just bring it back. Don't get frustrated, don't yell at it. But also don't allow yourself to get carried away with thoughts or sounds or sensations. Just keep bringing it back to the breath.
as you inhale, allow the breath to rise within you. Carry it up gently through the body. Try to carry it, if you can, all the way up to your third eye center, that place just between the eyebrows. See if you can bring the breath up on one unbroken, easy inhalation all the way up to that third eye center. If not, don't worry. Just bring it as high as you can, easily and gently, and then allow it to drop back down. Allowing the breath to rise higher and higher on each inhalation. Sinking deeper and deeper into the self on each exhalation. Gently bring the palms together at chest level and rub them against each other gently. Cup your palms over your closed eyes. Gently open your eyes and lower your hands. Welcome to Satsang. Instead of beginning with one of the questions on our sheet, which we usually do, I wanted to begin with your question from last night, which I told you we'd start with today.
When children are at teenagers, they are distracted towards unwanted things and love. So,
Distracted toward unwanted things and
love.
love.
So, instead of that, how we can divert our mind spirituality towards God?
Great. Okay. So she said as a teenager, we're distracted. Our minds are distracted to unwanted things and love. And how to bring it back to spirituality. So first of all, anybody here not a teenager? Any of the non-teenagers notice that your mind sometimes gets distracted to unwanted things? I mention that just so you know that this is not an illness of being a teenager. You are not alone here. This is part of the package deal of being human. So don't be too hard on yourself. But the question is fantastic, not only for teenagers, it's fantastic for everyone. How can we take our mind off that which is unwanted and put it on spirituality? Now, you mentioned love, and you lumped it in with these unimportant, unwanted distractions. Now, I understand that when we are young, and even for some people when they're not young, but especially when we're young, the mind tends to be even more preoccupied with what I'm going to call crushes instead of actually love. I know it feels like love. I know it feels like love. In fact, ironically, the love that you feel at your age almost feels stronger even sometimes than love that you feel later. Nonetheless, we're going to call it crushes. Because love is not actually distracting. Love actually is something that fills us and focuses us. When it's a crush, it's distracting. So think of the difference. I'm going to give you two different mental scenarios. Okay? Scenario one says, this love feels so beautiful. So beautiful inside me. And I'm doing my math. I'm doing my reading. I'm doing my chores. And I'm so happy to be doing my math and doing my reading and doing my chores because love makes me happy doing whatever I'm doing. And so I'm doing the dishes and I'm happy doing the dishes because I'm in love. And when I go to pray or I go to meditate, it's so beautiful because I'm already full of love. Okay? That's one option. Option two is, oh my God, he looks so cute today. Oh my God, did he just look at me? Did he look at me? I think he looked at me. Did he actually look at me? Oh my God, no. Was it me or was it her? No, it must have been me, right? Do I have a spot on my face? Oh my God, do these clothes are okay, right? How's my hair? Oh God, I should have really looked in the mirror for longer today. My hair must be a mess. Oh, now he's not looking at me. He's looking at her. That's not fair. Look at me, come on, look at me. Okay, so you see where that gets kind of distracting? Now, you sit down to do math and you think, he looked at me today. Maybe he didn't look at me today. Maybe he was looking at her today. Tomorrow, I'm going to wear my pink blouse. Then he'll have to look at me. That pink blouse looks really good. Oh, no, but I forgot. I got ketchup on my pink blouse. Oh, okay. So that is what we'll call distracting. You can see where that doesn't go so well with your math homework. Doesn't go so well with reading. Doesn't go so well with doing the dishes. You find yourself scrubbing the same plate over and over again and you forget you're supposed to be scrubbing the plate. Mom comes in and says, Eddie, what are you doing? You go to pray. You go to meditate. And all you can think is, oh, I wish I had that pink blouse. That looked so good on me. Why did my best friend have to spill ketchup on it? I've told her 10,000 times not to eat French fries near me. But she was eating French fries near me and she spilled that ketchup. Oh, I'm going to kill her. I need that. So this is distracting. But we're not going to call that love. You see the difference? Okay. And this is a very important difference because love is very beautiful for life. And so you don't want to consider love a distraction. And here's the beautiful thing with love in general. And I know that this may not be your experience at this age, but don't worry, because as you grow and as you get deeper, especially spiritually, what you'll find is love doesn't actually need an object to love. You can just feel love. You can look at a sunset and feel love. You can look at a flower and feel love. You can close your eyes and feel the sun on you, feel the wind on you, and feel love. That's the love that we actually are looking to cultivate. That's the love that enables us to move through our world much more anchored, much more grounded, as deeply, not just spiritual people, but fulfilled people, joyous people, peaceful people. That is not a distraction. The, oh my God, my pink blouse has ketchup on it, is a distraction. Okay? So, throughout our life, whether we're teenagers or whether we're older, what we have to really ask ourselves is, what is most important for me? Now, you know, or you wouldn't have asked the question in here, you know that that kind of thinking is not really very beneficial for you. That really you want to go more spiritually. What that means is that as you're having those thoughts, you're going to have to stop jumping on them. I always say our thoughts are tickets on vehicles. So if I say to you, okay, guess what? I have for you a first-class ticket to misery. Would you take it? But it's first class. Would you take it? Of course not. Would anybody take a first-class ticket to misery? I mean, however cushy the seat might be or the coupe might be, would anybody take a first-class ticket to misery? Because we know, I don't want to go there. But every time that we allow our minds to have thoughts of jealousy, of comparison, of judgment, of unfulfilled expectations, of all of this stuff, these are actually vehicles that are moving toward misery. But we jump on them. We think that's fun. Fun ride. Along this whole ride, I get to think badly about this one, gossipy about this one. I get to daydream about this. So it seems like a fun ride. And then we wonder, how did I land up in misery? Well, because I jumped on that train or that bus or that airplane. So this is where now we have to realize, okay, what kind of thoughts am I having? And how can I not have the thoughts that are taking me where I don't want to go? The first step is you recognize them. And you try to recognize them as soon as possible. Not 20 minutes later when you're already kind of far away. But the minute that it starts, and you'll get better at it. It's a habit. It's a practice. You'll get better. The minute the mind will start kind of shifting into its daydreamy mode, or its judgment mode, or its you'll never become anything in your life mode, or your this whole thing is stupid mode, or I hate everybody mode, or life isn't fair mode, or whatever mode you tend to get into. as it starts, you'll recognize it. Long before it has gotten you in its whirlpool. Long before you're already drowning. And you'll be able to say, I know where this ends up. I've gotten in this car before. I've gotten on that train before. I always end up miserable. इस बार मैं नहीं बैठूंगी. I'm not going. I can see it. I know where it's going. I'm not getting on. And you can just wave to it. Bye. Let it pass. Give your mind something else to think about. This is the power and the benefit of having a mantra, of having a prayer, of thinking about God, is the mind needs something to do. And so if we want it to stop doing what we don't want it to do, we have to give it something else. If you've got a new puppy dog, and it's running everywhere and biting everything and eating everything and peeing everywhere, you can't just say, don't run, don't play, don't bite, don't pee. That's what it does. It's a puppy dog. Instead, over here in this corner, you give it a toy that it likes to play with. You put some newspaper down so it can pee. You put some food. So everything that it wants is all the way over there. And you know now it's going to stay in its corner. It's not about stop being a puppy dog. You're not going to kill the puppy. You just want it to stop peeing on the couch and ruining the couch and biting things and whatnot. So you give it something else to do in some other place. Same thing with the mind. It's not about killing it. It's not about hating it. It's just about saying, Chalo, do it over here. Do this instead. Now the benefit, though, of spiritual thinking, the benefit of a mantra is, unlike your dog that just is peeing in a different place, this actually is going to also change you and transform you inside. It will actually also get you closer to God. So it has two benefits. One benefit is it stops your mind from doing nonsense. Number two benefit, though, is it actually is its own vehicle. And it's a vehicle going exactly where you want to go. So you jump in that instead of the other ones. So whenever something starts, you get that mantra going. But even better is you get the mantra going enough all the time that apne aap it starts. And then slowly, slowly you'll find that the mind doesn't even wander. Because it's doing the mantra. Okay? Beautiful question, but don't be so hard on yourself also. Okay? This is very normal and very natural. Because remember also, our thoughts come from lots of different places. One place that our thoughts come are what we call our sanskaras, which is our patterning. So if you're raised in a certain type of family with certain types of values and ethics or certain culture, you're going to think about those things, you're going to think in that way. It comes from more recent things. You were just seeing something on TV or you just watched a movie about something. If it impacted you, maybe you'll think about it in the car home or you'll think about it as you're going to sleep that night. Maybe you'll even dream about it. So you'll start to think about that. Somebody tells you something, you start thinking about that. But our thoughts also come from chemicals that are in our bodies. This is why it's so important to eat sattvic food. Food that is balanced, food that is light, as we say, not light like, not light as in a salad is light, but light as in of light rather than of darkness. That's what sattvic food is. And so we eat vegetarian, we eat simple, we eat food that is in alignment with a peaceful way of being. You don't eat food that's old, food that's stale. You don't eat food that's too spicy. You don't eat things that are going to pull the insides around. So that's one way of chemicals. But another way of chemicals is also just our hormones. How old are you? 16. Okay. Now, up until not very long ago, and if you look at the evolution of humans, if you look at how long that evolution has happened, how long it has taken us to change and evolve and adapt, it happens very slowly. Evolution happens very, very, very slowly. A lot of your body, a lot of the physical parts of your body have no idea that you're living in a world now in which you're going to go to college and you're going to go to graduate school and you're going to become the defense minister of India, and chances are you're not going to die at 40, of some epidemic, but chances are you're going to live to, over 80, 90, even 100. Our human longevity and our cultural civilization has changed much faster than our physical bodies have in terms of a lot of what? Flows in our bodies in terms of hormones. And I mention this because your body is being flooded with hormones that have no idea what you've got planned for your life. Those hormones have one thing and one thing in mind only, which is the propagation of the species. Okay? The only way the species is going to propagate is you will make babies. Okay? That's how species keep going. Those chemicals in your body have one agenda and one agenda only: babies. Because that's the only way that the human race continues. Now, unfortunately, you cannot negotiate with them. You cannot say ki jara ruk jao. We have a lot of time. We've got 15 years easily. No rush. The hormones don't negotiate. All those hormones know is that not very long ago, chances are you were going to die around 40-ish. Chances are that a lot of your babies were going to die. That in order to have, 1 or 2 living babies, you were going to have to give birth 8, 9, 10 times. Well, if you're dying at 40, that doesn't give you a lot of years. Better start soon. That's what these chemicals in your body, that's all they know. Babies, 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 babies. And I mention this because when we are teenagers, when we are young, our bodies are being flooded suddenly out of the blue. One minute we were kids, books and art and games and sports, and the next minute suddenly there's these chemicals in our body. And suddenly our bodies are saying, babies, 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 babies. And so the girls are like, oh, boys. The boys are like, oh, girls. Now, and then our parents and our sanskaras are saying, don't look, sit down, study. And we know that that's the right thing to do, but our bodies are still saying, babies, 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 babies. And this creates a lot of tension. Nothing to feel bad about. This is how your body is working. But it's important to understand that's not what you're feeling, like the truth of who you are. That's what these chemicals in your body that still think that you have to give birth 10 times between now and when you're 40, that's what they think. So you just need to make sure that you don't put them in the driver's seat of your life. Okay? Don't hate them. Don't let them drive you crazy. Realize that ultimately they are just there trying to keep the species afloat, and that, we need babies, and otherwise we're all going to just go extinct. That's their only agenda, is humanity should not go extinct. So you can appreciate them, but just don't give them the steering wheel of your life. Okay? Tell them to sit in the back. Here's your game. I'm not going to let you drive this vehicle because I know my agenda is not 10 babies between now and when I'm 40. I've got a totally different agenda. Totally different life path I'm walking. But don't feel badly about it is the point. Don't allow it to make you feel like, oh, there's something wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with you. It means your body is functioning perfectly. And one of the parts of the package deal of a perfectly functioning body is that you've got these chemicals in your bloodstream that we call hormones. And they come in our brain, and it's a long thing, I won't go into the science of it here, but they impact us, and suddenly they make us think in ways that we never thought. But don't worry about it. Just keep your mind focused. Yes. Other questions? Yes.
Sadhvi, I have once while googling, I have found in one of the Upanishads saying Raso Vaisa Rasadvam Evayam Labdva Jivo Anandi means he is bliss. Bliss is he. And one can obtain bliss only and only by attaining him. So they are very clear, only and only by attaining him. Now the question arises, how to attain him? Then I have found one of the Ramayana quotes saying, Nirmal man jan so mohi pawa. So when I think of myself, Nirmal man, oh my God, very, very difficult condition. When I see of myself, whether it's kama, krodha, lobha, moha,
Yes.
yeah, it's all there.
Okay.
You just name it, it's there.
Yes.
So I'm not finding the way out of it.
Okay. So, how do we attain bliss? The scriptures say we only attain bliss when we attain God. And how do we attain God? Only when our mind is clean, pure. But when my mind is full of anger, of greed, of lust, of this, of that, how in the world am I ever going to find God? And therefore, how in the world am I ever going to attain bliss? And what do the scriptures say about where to find God? Where you're supposed to look with that mind? Inside, right, okay. So if God is inside us, in order to find God, we need to look within. Now what most of us do is we look outside. We're focused outside, even spiritually. We find ourselves focused outside. That course, this certificate, this program, that program. How many places do we need to go that are going to tell us, go within, before we actually go within? It's sort of an interesting irony, isn't it? I'm gonna go someplace else that I know is going to tell me go within, because the last people also told me go within, and the people before that told me go within, and every book I've read says go within. But nonetheless, I need to go to that place because I need to hear it from that person's mouth. Okay, so that's just a very interesting irony. So we know we need to go within. Now, how do I purify my mind so that I can see it? And this is really the dilemma. You know, Puja Swamiji gives the example of we're sitting in a dark room. The sun is shining outside, but our curtains are closed. Or our window is just very, very dirty and we can't see. Now, sitting in that dark room, We are praying for light, praying for sun. But the sun is there. The only problem is we cannot see it because our curtains are closed and the window is dirty. This is the same thing with that bliss and God. It's there, it's in you, but you cannot see it because of these things of the mind. Right? Okay. What to do with them all? Give them to God. There's two ways to work with all of the problems we have. You can try to address them one by one. Okay, Cello, this week we're going to work on my greed. Okay? There's all sorts of practices you can do. Then you feel okay, but maybe not this week, maybe a month it takes me. However long it takes me, Cello, first I'm going to take greed. Then I feel like, okay, I've overcome greed. Then I'm going to take my lust. Deal with that however long it takes me. Then, okay, I'm going to take up my anger. Much of our life would go. And I'm not even necessarily sure that we would get there. Because slowly, as you find that you're done over here, well, this one starts kind of popping its head up again over here. The only way to do it is we surrender to God. We say, okay, God, I've got this. I offer it to you. Take me as I am. You know. You know what I am. You know what I think. You know what I do. I offer it to you. Not that I think it's such a great offering, but you're God. I offer it to you. Right? These are the mantras that we chant. Whatever I think, whatever I speak, and whatever I think includes all of the vasanas. Whatever I do, I offer it to you. This is the only way. Again, Puja Swamiji says, he says, at the end of the day, in our practice of introspection, you sit with God and you offer it all. The plus points, the minus points, as Mataji says. Okay? So your plus points are going to be, I went to Rishikesh, I joined this program, I'm really, really trying to learn. I came all the way across the river for satsang. I'm meditating, I'm doing yoga. These are what you could consider plus points. I got better, I didn't get angry so many times today. I saw it when it was coming. And then your minus points. But I still got angry a little. But I still had lust, I still had greed. Both of them we offer to God. Take it all and give me the strength tomorrow that I can be freer of it. It's the only way. With that, though, this is where the practice, when we talk about Gyan Yoga, the practice of wisdom. So reading scriptures, listening to spiritual talks, being in satsang, because what it does is, if you look at all of these, take greed, take lust, take anger, all of them come from one false belief. That false belief is, I am an object. And this object is not full. Therefore, I need more. Whether I need more money, whether I need more things, whether I need more fame, whether I need more success. Okay, we're going to call that greed. More, 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 give it. Or lust. Same thing. I'm an object. You're an object. You can be used in the satisfaction of this object. Lust is object to object. But lust also comes from a sense of, right now, I'm not full. If you really look at lust, You think about what is lust? Lust is this contraction of our vision. Love is an expansion of our vision. Think for a moment of being in love, someone you really love, and then think over someone you just lust over. Now, love expands our hearts. Lust does this. Lust is gotta have it, 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 gotta have it. It's a contraction of our vision. Love is an expansion. Okay? So lust is, I'm an object. I'm not full. What I need, you have. I need it, need it, need it, gotta have 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 it. That's lust. Okay? Anger. I'm an object. I need something. I'm not getting it. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. The universe isn't doing it. I'm angry. Every one of those cases is rooted in this belief, I'm an object and I'm not full. Need more. Need something. Need this. Need that. Want this. Want that. Which is where, spiritually, when we realize I am full, they dissipate. And this is where that spiritual wisdom is so important to go along with it. Is, what's there to be greedy for? Mera mein to sab kuch hai. Kya nahi hai? Kya kami hai? What do I actually need that I don't have? There's nothing to be greedy for when you are grounded spiritually. There's nothing to lust for when you're grounded spiritually. Nothing to be angry about. Because you have no agenda with an attachment that someone could fail to live up to and that you're angry about. So we have this gyan also, that's what that's very important for. And jo baki hai, whatever is left, we give it to God. And slowly, slowly, slowly you will find it. Just keep looking in.
Offerings, is it, what I understand of offering is it a dialogue kind of thing? Offering.
You can offer however you want. Look, when you're deeply connected to someone, even think about being deeply connected to a person, not even God. If I want to offer something, well, I can say, hey Trish, so I have this piece of paper and I would like to offer it to you. Please take my piece of paper. Or I could just walk over there and give it to her silently. Or I could sit here. She and I are close. I could sit here and I could say, and she'd understand and eventually she'd come up and take it. So it doesn't matter how you offer. Offer however feels right to you. God understands. With words, no words, doesn't matter. Just offer it. Yes.
Can I just speak few words in between the answer?
Yes.
How to get better in the art of balancing?
Art of balancing our lives or balancing what?
Just balancing our lives, yes.
Okay. By being very clear on what our priorities are. We can't balance our life if we don't know what our priority is. So for example, if I go in the kitchen and I'm going to cook something, the only way to know the balance between salt and sugar, for example, is if I know in advance whether am I making a sweet dish, am I making dessert, or if am I making a salty dish. Then I will know, acha, sweet dish means more sugar, less salt. Salty dish means more salt, less sugar. Maybe no sugar at all. But if I walk in that kitchen and I have no idea what I'm trying to make, got all these ingredients, maybe a little this, maybe a little, but if I have no vision of actually kya khana, what do I want to eat? You can't balance. So you have to have a priority of ultimately what is my goal. At the end of the day, or even not a day, at the end of a week, what am I looking for? And so naturally, on some level, for most people, there's going to be some element of a career, financial success. There's going to be some element of a family, whatever that may look like at different times of life. But we've got to make sure that we understand the importance of the priority of my spiritual life, whatever we call it. Because if not, then I'm not actually able to live my life with any kind of real joy and real peace. I might be making a bunch of money. I might have a great spouse, great kids, beautiful house, cars, all of that. But this is where you get so many people, I can't even tell you, thinking, I have everything. But I don't know why, I'm just not in peace, not happy. Because they've left that part out. My favorite story on this is of the 3 guys who are in the boat in the middle of the ocean. And they start to fight. It's kind of a stressful situation. They're stranded on a boat in the middle of the ocean. So in order to stop from killing each other, they draw these invisible lines down the boat so that each man has his own part. This is your part, my part, his part. Till now at least we can stop fighting. So one day, 2 of the men look over and they notice that a leak has sprung in the 3rd man's part of the boat. And they say, stop it up, we're going to sink, we're going to drown. And the 3rd guy says, he says, don't worry, it's only leaking in my part of the boat. Now, with the story we understand, it's a joke, right? I mean, obviously, a leak anywhere is going to bring the whole boat down. But we don't understand this in our lives. We think I can put all this attention on my career, this attention on my family, this attention on my social life, this attention on how beautiful I look. And I can just let this leak spring in the spiritual part of me. As though somehow I could actually stay afloat with this leak. So it's really important to realize that. And then the balance actually comes much more naturally. We get out of balance when our priorities get messed up. And this is where that daily practice, whatever your daily practice looks like, whether it's an hour of a practice or 10 minutes of a practice, but that grounds you, that anchors you. Who am I? What am I looking for? Am I really being an instrument in God's hands? Am I really allowing divine grace to flow through me? And then the balance becomes actually quite easy. You don't have to do so much of the notepads and paper and lists and whatnot when it's there. But it helps also to remind yourself hours of this, hours of that, until it becomes deeply part of you already. Okay, good. So before we conclude satsang tonight, we have a very special birthday to celebrate. It's our beloved Kameshpaya's birthday, and we're so happy to be celebrating with him here. And in traditional satsang style, we will sing him happy birthday, but we'll begin with English, which everybody knows, but then we will sing in whatever languages we happen to have here. So whatever language you speak, whatever country you're from, any languages that you know, you will have an opportunity to stand up and sing happy birthday in that language. So good, they've come. So rather than starting in English, we will start with our Sanskrit happy birthday, Shuddhinam Shuddhinam. We'll start